Hello class, welcome to CIS 106 Introduction to Linux or Linux Fundamentals. We are watching this video in lieu of our first meeting so that we can save time and because of my absence on our first lecture. This is going to be a very short video explaining you what the course is about, what will you be required to complete, and how you will be graded. All the links and everything that you need for the class will be provided to you via Blackboard. With that said, let's get started. This course has some prerequisites. So, first of all, I require computer literacy because this is a fast-paced course and it's a bit more advanced than your introduction courses. You need to have basic computer knowledge and you must understand and know how to use your personal computer, whether it be Mac or Windows. When we say basic usage of a computer, we mean that you can use the internet for browsing, reading emails, not only on the web, but in your email client, chat applications such as Discord and Slack and so on. Office productivity suite, just like Microsoft Office and Google Docs. Install and remove software in your operating system, and also know the difference of some key elements that we use every day, such as web browser, internet, and search engine. Um, you also need to know basic understanding of computer parts such as RAM, CPU, motherboard, expansion cards, and etc. And you also need to have a decent a decent PC, not a potato. What constitutes a decent PC? Well, a computer with a quad-core CPU, 8 GB of RAM as a minimum, Windows 10 or 11, or a Mac OS with an Intel CPU, or any Linux distribution. You can use a Mac with an M1 chip, but you're going to struggle a lot with it. And at least 100 gigabytes of free space that you can utilize. Any computer that does not meet this minimum requirement is essentially a potato and will give you a lot of problems, not only in my class, but in pretty much any other technical class that you take. Computer classes, IT classes, they require that you test a lot of things. They require that you install a bunch of applications that are heavy, and you need a decent computer to excel at them. You need 2 hours of week of study time. This is not a advice. This is a must. You need to have 2 hours a week to do the work that I will assign you. If you don't, it's going to be very hard to catch up. But if you pick this class or any computer class for that matter, you have to study no matter what you look at. You have to take notes, you have to read, you have to do the student work. So I think 2 hours a week is more than enough for you to excel at pretty much any 3 level or 2 level or 1 level course that you take related to computer. Obviously, that will vary. If you are somebody that is very technical, you use your computer a lot, you are a bit of a nerd like I am, you love your computer, this is not new to you, obviously you will require much less time because there are going to be concepts that you are already familiar with. So you are not going to need to review them because you already know them. But if this is fairly new to you, if this is your first, tech course, if you're just getting started in this field, you don't know much, obviously 2 hours is not going to be enough. You need to do more than just that. Computers are big. This field is extremely big. There is a lot to learn. So the study time will vary from one individual to another. But I think that 2 hours is a very safe um, time frame for most people. And you need to know how to use Blackboard, but nothing fancy, just how to submit an assignment, how to see your grade, basic things like that. Most of the content that I will teach you is hosted outside of Blackboard, so we're not going to be heavy on Blackboard. But you do need to know how to submit your work properly. And since you use it for all of your other classes, I assume there will be no issue with that. And finally, you need to be capable of adjusting to a fast-paced course, which means you need to be able to know how to manage your time, when to dedicate a little bit more time to this class than other classes, when to move certain assignments for a different day other than another. The field that you picked, computer science or IT, require that you understand how to use time management and that you have to adjust to things that move very quickly. So this is going to serve to you as practice for the real world. So how are you going to earn your grade this semester? Well, first of all, let's start with the syllabus. You find it in Blackboard. Go to Blackboard, there is a link there, click on it, read it. If you have any questions, ask me, and I'll be happy to answer. How are you going to get graded in my class? Well, let's take a look at the syllabus. Your grade is going to be earned with the following. You will have one exam, a final exam in the class that is going to be given to you the last day of the semester. It is the format of the exam is performance based. I'm going to give you a series of problems and you're going to solve them using your notes and using the knowledge that you have acquired throughout the semester. The exam is challenging, it's a little bit harder, but we're going to talk about that later on. It is worth 15% of your final grade. The class has a final project because I believe that every technical course should have a project, something that you can show up or show off that you did at the end of the semester. Otherwise, it is a waste. It is worth 15% of the semester. I wrote guides and videos for the final project, so you can, it's going to be easy for you to complete because you don't need to guess. Everything is already provided to you. All you need to do is do the project and document your work. And I will give you guides on how to document your work as well. And I will be with you throughout the entire process. So there's no need why not doing the project, or there is no need to fail at doing the project when you have that much amount of help. Every lecture has a lab. Every concept that I teach will have an implementation, something for you to practice with. And every lab at the end of the semester, I will calculate that and it is worth 15% of your final grade. I repeat, every lecture has a lab, not every week, every lecture. So if I teach you a topic on virtualization, there is going to be a lab that focuses on how to use virtualization, for example. You are going to give me for every lecture what is called week reports. Ideally, every week we're going to cover one lecture, but there is always one or two lectures that are going to span 2 weeks. So that's just the way things are. But ideally, we will cover one lecture a week, one new topic every week. You're going to give me a report of that topic, and I will tell you exactly what you're going to put in that report. That report is a to-do list. It's a task of things that you need to complete. And then at the end, you need to give me a proof that you complete those tasks. It's actually fairly easy. I designed it that way so that I can help you study. You're going to give me class notes, but not for every chapter. I'm going to tell you exactly which chapters and what I want to see in those notes. So they are also very easy to do. Both the week report and the class notes don't take more than 25 minutes to complete because there are specific things that we need to review after the lecture. Not everything in the lecture requires annotation. There are things that you will remember them just by looking at them, but there are other things that you need to write down because they are crucial to the learning of the material. The class has discussion boards as well. They are worth 10% of your grade. Week reports and notes are worth 15 and 10. Discussion boards are available from the beginning of the semester until the semester is over, pretty much. There are specific due dates, but we'll talk about them later on as the semester progresses. Every week, I'm going to give you a quiz on the previous lecture. The quiz is fairly simple and it's only worth 10% of your grade, but it consists of either one question or 5 questions, depending on the type of lecture. For instance, this week, there is going to be no quiz. Next week, there is going to be no quiz. But then the third week, I'm going to give you a quiz of 5 questions that are going to be based on the previous lecture. They are very easy questions. The whole point is to keep you in check, to keep you on track of your studies. So I advise you to review the previous lecture at least 30 minutes before the class. And at the end of the semester, I'm going to drop the lowest grade of the quiz. So if you fail one of the quizzes, you'll be fine because that one won't be used for calculating that 10%. The quiz is going to be at the beginning of the class, so be early. Finally, attendance is worth 10%. So for showing your face, I'll give you 10% of your grade. And then that makes a total of 100%. Nothing that you do in my class is free. Everything that you do has a grade because I don't believe in free labor. Now, how you're going to contact me? Well, we're going to use a platform called Slack for communication because you are going to be needing help and I am here to help you at any time of the day. And also you can contact me via email, but I don't recommend that because it takes a while to read the email, to get back to you. It's just not as efficient as sending me a direct message via Slack. Where do you go for help? In Slack. You can ask for help in Slack or you can go to the computer lab and ask for help. I don't guarantee that there is going to be a tutor for my class there, but I am available to tutor you and I'm available to give you help as well if you request it early on time. How many lectures there will there be? Well, it depends. It depends how we progress throughout the semester. Every semester I cut at least one lecture because if I see that a lot of people are falling behind, then I adjust the pacing of the course accordingly. So that is going to depend totally on the overall performance of the class. But we're going to try to cover as many lectures as possible. In total, we covered about 8 to 12 lectures. So that's on average. Where can I buy the book for the class? It's free. I use only free material for the class, and just uh, click on the link over there and you'll be able to obtain the book for free. The book is used as a reference, meaning as extra things that you can read on if you want to learn more, or if you want if you want to further understand a particular topic. It is only used for reference. I repeat, all the material that you need to excel is provided to you via the Google Sheets presentation, sorry, the Google Slides presentations. Communications tool. We use Slack for direct messaging. We use Zoom for conducting our online sessions and training, and also for tutoring. I'm going to send you a link to join our Slack workspace. That's going to be on a separate video from this one that you're going to watch after you finish this video. Why can't you email me? Well, you can. It's just don't expect an immediate response, but you can, by all means, send me an email. If you're requesting an extension on any assignment, notify me via Slack and then send me an email after you have notified me. I only grant extensions only specific or special circumstances. So being late, procrastinating, none of that is an excuse. But if life is chaotic, things can happen. In those instances, please email me or please Slack me, and we can discuss arrangements for you to submit your assignment so that you don't receive a late penalty. Again, um, ask me and we'll discuss whether you deserve an extension or not. But if the reason why you're late is because you procrastinated on your work, chances are I'll say no. Final exam. The final exam is performance based. We don't have a midterm. We go and do lectures until the end of the semester. There is no midterm here, only a final exam. It is 4 questions only, where you are allowed to use your notes, but only your notes. It's going to test your knowledge of Linux, and that's about it. I will give you more details on your final exam as we get closer to the end of the semester. It is open notes, it is individual, and you have an opportunity to ask me any question you want during the exam. Any question at all. The exam is hard. It is very hard. So I'm not going to lie on that, because it is performance based. It is not select the right answer or multiple choice or true or false. I don't believe in those type of examinations. They are mind numbing. They only serve the purpose of testing your memorization skills, and I have no interest in testing that ability of yours, but only your ability to use common sense and your ability to actually use the knowledge that you have obtained for a period of 3 months. I think that is much more worth your time and is less insulting to intellect. Final project. The final project is divided into 3 deliverables, 3 documents that you're going to give me. They are well detailed in our website for the course, and you are going to give those to me as the semester progresses. The final project essentially is hosting a website using VirtualBox and Ubuntu Server. All the material, the guides, and videos are provided by me in the website and in our YouTube channel for the class. The entire step-by-step process for this has been documented in extreme detail, and I am available at all times to help you troubleshoot in the case that something goes wrong. The labs consist of 4 to 5 questions. I solve half of the lab, and then I assign you a challenge question that you need to do on your own. The grade is divided 50-50. 50% is the challenge question, 50% is the work that I do with you. So I assign you a lab, I create a YouTube video where I solve a portion of the lab, and then the challenge question I leave unsolved for you to test your knowledge. You're going to have 10 days to complete your lab. 10 days to do 4 questions. That's not bad. And after the 10 days, I'm going to give you extra 5 days to submit the assignment late, but with a 30 points penalty. So you have 10 days to get full grade, and then 5 extra days for you to submit it with a 30-point penalty. After that 5-day period, the assignment closes forever and you're done. The worst part here is that every lab builds on the previous one. So if you fall behind in one lab, you will be lost on the second one, and on the third, and on the fourth, and on the fifth. So you have to do the labs in a timely manner. And even if you don't get to do the lab on time, You still got 5 days to do them late. And if you don't get to do them late, you still have to do them, but at that point, you get no grade. But unfortunately, if you don't do it, you are lost on the following lab. So my advice is those 2 hours that I told you you're going to use in a week, please allocate them and use them. There is no other way to learn technology but working hard and putting in the time. After the 15 period expires, I already explained, the Dropbox will disappear. The final exam is based on the lab's challenge question, right? So I take those challenge questions and I create a series of scenarios where you need to use the knowledge that you got from those challenge questions to actually solve them. So it is crucial that you understand and get the challenge questions right. So if you get the challenge question wrong, please, on the following lecture, ask me to solve it for you after the assignment is already has already disappeared, so that you actually see the proper solution for the challenge question. The week reports are a list of tasks that you're going to complete every week or every lecture. They consist of things like watch a video, take a screenshot, complete the lab, things like that. Um, Before you start working on anything, please read the week report. That's the first thing you should do. You go to the week report in Blackboard, you read what I am requiring you to do, and you do it in the order that I have established for you. That order has been written in that way for a reason, because probably you are going to need to do something before you start the lab, or you're going to need to review something before you start the lab. Don't work my class on your own terms, because if you do so, you're on your own. If you do it in the order that I have written down for you, I guarantee you that you're going to be successful. If you try to do it your way, you are on your own. You are on your own. Figure it out on your own. Don't slack me asking me for help. You decided to do things your way, then you are on your own. If you do things my way, I'm with you 100% of the way. Class notes. There is no way technology can be learned without taking notes. Don't kid yourself thinking you will. Every lecture will require a summary of important concepts. Exception to that rule is lecture one, lecture for today, because there is no need to take notes on what the course is about. But you're going to have to take notes from this point on. I will tell you exactly what to write down. You can include more if you want, but the things that I'm telling you to write down, I'm telling you to write them down because they are part of your final exam or they are canonical to the learning of the material. This is going to be a running document, meaning that every week we're going to add on to the document and we're going to continue adding on until the end of the semester. Class notes are important because it's the only document that I will allow you to use during your final exam. I will repeat that. This is the only document that I'm going to allow you to use during the final exam. So if you don't do the notes, you're not going to have nothing to fall on during the final exam. So this is not optional. You must take these notes. I will ask for this document before the exam starts. And if you don't have it, you will not be allowed to open anything else. So I advise you to please take notes. It's part of your grading schema and it will be used during your final exam. There is a separate video showing you how to take notes. I will make it available once we start taking notes so that you know exactly what I am talking about. Discussion boards. There will be 4 discussion boards to complete. You will have 3 months to complete them. Discussion boards are very easy, way too easy. They are due the day before the final exam. 3 months to do discussion boards. That is fairly easy, and they are very, very easy to do. They take about 25 minutes to complete. So, and you have 3 months. However, it is easy to procrastinate on the discussion boards. Every semester, there is still at least 3, 4, 5 people that don't do a single one of them, and then they end up with a C or with a D, and they ask me why, because they miss half of the stuff they were supposed to do. So my advice to you is that every once in a while, every 2, 3 weeks, you do one discussion board until you finish them all. I will close them the day before the final exam. The day before the final exam, I will start putting zeros on any discussion board that you haven't complete. As the semester progresses, I will start sending you reminders of the discussion boards and of the assignments that are coming along. Every week, I'm going to give you a quiz, 1 to 5 questions at the beginning of the class, the very first 5 minutes of the class. They don't take more than that. If you're late, you missed it. If you're late, you missed it, automatic zero. As simple as that. Come to class early, join the Zoom meeting early, and you'll be able to take the exam. I will not allow you to take the exam if you don't take the quiz, if you don't come here early to class. As simple as that. It's either multiple choice or a single question that you need to answer by running some commands on the command line. The technologies that we're going to use in this course. VS Code is going to be the code editor that we're going to use for writing our notes, labs, and the reports. Markdown is going to be the syntax or language that we're going to use to write our documents. Git and GitHub are the technologies that we're going to use to save our assignments and have a backup on the cloud for them in case something goes weary or something breaks during the semester. Only the basics of these two will be covered during the course. Nothing more is required of you. VirtualBox, as is the hypervisor, where we're going to create virtual machines for the class, and Ubuntu Desktop and Ubuntu Server. Desktop as the operating system that you're going to be learning and that you're going to be working with, and Server for the final project. Now, the class has been structured using this formula. And this is the formula that you can use to learn any technology or any programming language that you can think of. Plan. This is your week report. You write a list of tasks that you want to accomplish in a time frame that is reasonable. Nothing crazy, nothing big. 5, 6, 7 things that you need to learn in a particular week. You take notes, right? You read books, you read presentations, you read lectures, and then you write down important concepts. Writing down things is a crucial element of learning. And then finally, you practice the things that you read, the things that you learn, because practice makes perfect. Reading technology is the same is as reading the manual to drive a car. Reading the manual is not going to teach you how to drive the car, but it will teach you the things that you need for the moment when you are actually driving. The same thing goes with technology. You can read about a programming language all you want, but until you start coding, that reading is useless. Finally, here are some tips for the class. Don't take shortcuts. Do things the right and long way because there is learning along the way. Shortcuts lead to mistakes that are difficult to fix. Do not procrastinate. Procrastination is the biggest sin that every student makes. Procrastination does not lead to understanding or learning. You might think that you got away with it because you were able to wait until the last moment and submit the assignment. But when you do that, all you did was get a grade because you were rushing through the entire process. You didn't learn. Procrastination does not lead to understanding or learning. It only leads to frustration and a lot of stress and also overworking. So do not procrastinate. Do things on time and do them slow. Don't be ignorant. Please don't. Ignorance is evil. Ignorance is bad. Ignorance is never good. When you don't know, when you are in doubt, ask. No, you have ChatGPT, you have Google, you have me. Ask somebody. Don't stay ignorant and do not assume that you know when you clearly know that you are in doubt. Just ask the question and an answer will be provided to you or an understanding. I go as far as to making a video specifically for you if such is required so that you understand what we're talking about. Just request it early and I'll do it for you. But please do not stay ignorant. Just don't. It is bad. The tools that you can use, you have a ton of tools to be productive in this day and age. You can use calendar and reminders. Hey, Alexa, remind me to do my assignment tomorrow. You know, you can use these technologies to better help you out or add a particular event to your calendar. You know you're going to have a quiz next week. Add it to your Google Calendar and set up a reminder 24 hours before so that you can remember to study. Use your email and Slack on your phone and on your computer so that you can keep up with the tasks that you need to complete. You can also have a to-do list where you can link it to your email and just send that particular thing to your to-do list when you are in a hurry. You have technology to make you great. Use it. Also, you have way too many learning things. You have free books, ChatGPT, Google, YouTube, too many learning tools for you to excel at any class that you take. Don't waste it. Use it. Your phone can be used for more than sending that quick DM in Instagram or posting that nice picture of a cup of coffee. Your phone is a power tool that can be used to better make you a student, to improve your learning skills. Finally, demand what you paid for. I'm not teaching for free. Granted, this only pays for my Netflix subscription for my mother. That's a fact. Doesn't pay a lot, but you're still paying me. So demand it. You have my time. You have my resources. If a particular topic is not clear, demand a better understanding. Don't stay silent. You are paying for your courses. This is not free. So please, when you pay, demand because you deserve it. Now, finally, more tips. Do the work in the order that I have told you. It is like that for a reason. The best advice that I can give you is to avoid getting a zero on any assignment. Here is an example of somebody who got a C plus in my class. Look at how many assignments they missed. That dumped their grade to a C plus from a potential A. Because look, they got 190s on everything else, but they neglected a lot of their work, and that landed them in a C plus. Knowing Linux or having knowledge of does not guarantee you a decent grade in my class. Not at all, not even in the slightest. Every semester, I have a couple of students who are good at Linux. They know probably as much as me, and they end up with a C or with a D. Why? Because they think that because they know the material, they don't need to do anything. No, I don't value genius here. I value hard work, dedication, and punctuality because you can have all the talent in the world. If you don't put in the work, you're not gonna succeed. Only hard work, dedication, and punctuality when you're doing something will guarantee you that you excel at anything that you do. Talent alone is not it's not even worth it. Talent alone will let you nowhere. Um, Finally, let's see if we have anything else to cover over here. And I think that's it. I will see you in the next video. Please make sure that you go over the material that we have on Blackboard, and please complete lab number 1 and go over the other videos that I will post alongside this one. You receive an email in your inbox telling you exactly what you need to do before our next session. Take care. Have a great weekend.